So we are here today to learn what is on our airway carts and, more importantly, what you do with those things. In this drawer we have LMAs. We have a new kind of LMA now. They come in various sizes, and it says on the LMA what size person this serves. So this one, for example, is 30 to 60 kilograms, the number 3. And so to get the LMA ready, you take it off this little piece of plastic, and you take some water-soluble lubricating stuff, and you put it, you basically smear it on the back of it, okay? Not so much on the front, but on the back of it, and then a little bit around the rim. So you have the end of that lubed up. Then you would put it back in here, and have this ready to go. They say not to, just put the bare LMA on the bed or anything, might get too dirty. So you'd have this ready for the dock to place. And how is it placed? It's really easy. You're not going to go in well if it's not lubed, but it basically goes in like this, and you first feel resistance where it sort of hits the tonsil or pillars, a little bit of resistance there, and you push past that, and boom, then it goes on down and stays in there. And the tip here, very smooth camera technique. The tip here actually sits in the upper part of the esophagus, and there's a channel here, so you can drain secretions, sort of like the subglottic suctioning. So through that channel, you can actually put a small NG tube in through that hole over here. So it sucks stuff from down here before it gets up to the larynx. And you see this gel material, it sort of molds itself to the larynx. So those are our LMAs these days. There you go. So through the one that we were playing with, you could put a 6.0 tube, theoretically. Cook's catheter. That looks like this. It's really the ink oxygen flow modulator set. Okay? So this is when you can't get an airway in up above, and you're starting to think about a crike. This thing allows you to poke a needle through the cricothyroid membrane and then basically squirt oxygen in there. So needles like this, so this would poke into the cricothyroid membrane, needle comes out, so now you've got this sort of soft little tube in there. And then inside that kit, this is the flow modulator. So this thing goes on it, so now you've got that stuck through the neck, and you can basically, you blow oxygen here, and you'd cover up these holes here and squirt oxygen in. It's not going to do much for ventilation, but at least to get some oxygen in there. Okay? Actually has holes on both sides, so you'd be doing it like this. Okay? Very basic way of squirting oxygen into a blocked airway. You could also then do an emergency cricothyrotomy, and this can happen very quickly. You can get this thing in quickly. You basically here, you get a needle in there, wire through the needle, dilator over that. It's similar to the trachs that we do in the ICU, but set up for an emergency one. Trachs are done, a ring or two lower. Cricothyrotomy is higher, but you can do this basically in a minute or so. These things like this and this. So these are airway exchange catheters of various sizes, mainly for a tube change. So it's a sort of small, fairly flexible catheter that you would, this is a big fat version of it, but somebody who's intubated and you want to change their tube, this thing would go in through the tube, then you fix it there, the tube comes out, you take the stuff off the end, tube comes out, and you put a new tube in over it. So it serves as a guide. Easily be confused with the gum rubber bougie, also known as the Eschmann stylet. So this thing has a wire inside it so you can shape it, which the exchange catheters don't have. So this is more for getting a tube in. So you might be looking with a glide scope or something, and you can get this into the airway and then slip your tube in over it. So this is for intubating, the other one is for changing endotracheal tubes.